Let's turn to Nadine. Nadine, you may now ask your questions.
So you said in your speech that freedom is really the end of everything. But how can you secure your freedom? If it is the end, can you secure it? How, in what way can you secure your freedom?
When you have your Human Security Act, when you have your USA Patriot Act, you're taking away the rights of people to free speech, the rights to privacy, and we believe that we should protect these rights. We should secure these rights. Like, people should be secure from privacy invasion. People should be secure from unlawful detention. That's what we mean when we say securing freedom.
Can you cite a specific example of privacy invasion?
For example, in the USA Patriot Act, the FBI is allowed to go to your house and investigate all of your things, and they're allowed to seize your objects without telling you. And they can even go to a third party and ask for information about you, and you can never know that they're getting information about you. Don't you think that that's infringement of privacy rights?
But why do you think are these people their house are being searched by the police or the authorities if they did not do anything suspicious?
Well, the government claims that it's for the greater good. But you see, most people who are subjected to this actually turn out innocent. For example, in Guantanamo Bay, out of the 660 detainees there, only 8% of them are actual Al-Qaeda members. The rest of them are just suspected. So how can you justify the fact that they're there for an indefinite period of time, but they're not even guilty?
But are you aware that their right to privacy is an alienable right? That means that the government has a control of it. That it means that the government has the right to control it or the right to regulate it.
An alienable right. It's always there. It should always be there. The government can't take that away, or else it's against the Constitution.
Alienable means that it can be regulated by the government.
It's against the Constitution to take away your rights.
We have an inalienable right, and an inalienable right are those rights that cannot be abrogated, but alienable rights can be regulated by the government. Are you aware of that? It is regulated. The rights are never taken away from the people. They are only regulated. You should be aware of that. So you said that relinquish freedom. How can you relinquish freedom?
You're relinquishing your freedom of speech and your freedom to have privacy when you're allowing people to have the Patriot Act, the Human Security Act.
But are you aware that freedom is already there? It is never relinquished. It is protected. Because freedom is already there. It cannot be violated by anyone.
Of course it can be violated. Look at countries like North Korea. Would you call that country free? I mean, if one person goes against the government, they can murder that person.
But can you cite a country that is free but does not seek for security?
Of course. A lot of countries are there. For example, Canada is the #1 free country in the world. They don't have any anti-terror
Are you sure that
laws
they don't have any security acts or laws to protect the people?
Well, are you sure that they do?
But are you sure that they don't have?
Well, I don't know, but can you give me an example to say that they do?
But no nation exists that a nation can never exist without any laws or regulations.
Okay, now let's switch sides. Let's now give the floor to Paulina. Paulina, you have 3 minutes.
You said that we cannot call ourselves free if we are inhibited by our fear. Giving the government unchecked power to invade privacy and spy on you is indeed a good reason for paranoia. I mean, you can just be walking in your house and be doing nothing wrong, and then you can be afraid that what if the government suspects me of doing something wrong even if I'm not doing anything? They can imprison me without a warrant, they can search my house. How do you call that
But
security?
will you ever be placed under suspicion if you did not do anything suspicious?
Of course.
How can you say so?
Take, for example, the people in Guantanamo Bay. And besides, you're the one asking. I'm the one supposed to be asking the question.
But the government will never search your house if you did not do anything suspicious.
Oh, well, they will, because
if you're placed under suspicion, that means that you are already not an ordinary citizen, but a suspect, a threat to the security of a nation.
But they can make mistakes, you know. There aren't
Exactly. It's human error. They could make mistakes. They could always change and correct
those mistakes are bad. Those mistakes are what we're trying to avoid. Because
but those people who can make mistakes are always put into sanctions.
You're making
they're always encompassed. They're always laws and regulations.
Just a few people.
Questions for you?
Further questions. Well, can you still call a country secure even if its citizens are not safe from persecution from their own government? Just yes or no, please.
It is still secure because the rights are still protected. Yes, it is secure. It is secure.
It's not secure because its citizens are not safe from their own government. Their government can just go and capture them even if they don't have adequate proof. Take, for example, military tribunals. Look what's happening. They're just taking people without enough evidence, and they're persecuting these people.
That is why we have laws and regulations to protect these people who are being abused.
No,
and
the Patriot Act is precisely supporting
tribunals can be
military
placed into
tribunals.
sanctions.
No,
they can always be punished by
supporting
the
military
law.
tribunals. That's what your security is doing. Your security is putting
And
a lot of
security
innocent
also
people.
means security from internal threats.
Would you rather burn the whole house to find a few rats?
But will you?
Yes or no?
But will you prioritize
Yes
your
or no?
personal freedom for the sake of the national security and the welfare of the people?
You're asking. I'm the one supposed to be asking a question. Just answer yes or no. Will you burn the whole house to find a few rats?
Yes, of course, for security
Yes,
of the
you'll
people.
burn your own
Yes,
house.
of course.
Just for the sake of a few terrorists, you'll.
What if those
sacrifice
rats
your
will
whole
reach the
country?
other houses and put rats in the houses of other
We're not
people?
talking about
I
other
will burn my
houses.
own
We're talking
house.
about your house.
Yes, I will burn my own house, as I said. For the sake of my own
Then fine,
security
you
and
just
the security
admitted
of
that
others as
your
well.
security is faulty because you're putting yourself at risk. You're burning your own house. For the
But
sake
I
of
would
a few
rather put myself
terrorists.
at risk to protect the welfare of the other people.
Oh yeah, well.
Because only personal freedom, a real word that personal freedom can only come second to the welfare of the nation.
No, freedom should come
It
first.
always comes second to the welfare of the
Freedom
nation.
should come first because
Security.
it's in the Constitution.
I don't.
You know, you should protect rights to privacy, rights to freedom of speech, rights to a fair trial.
But
Those
that would be
rights-
selfish of you if you prioritize your personal freedom instead of prioritizing and
I mean,
maintaining
how
the
are
whole
you making
race.
sure that your means are
Okay.
effective?
Thank you very much. That ends the interpellation round. Okay, our topic is, it's freedom versus security of the individual. When we return, we will have the free debate round.